Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger, and in our first ever installment of Let's Learn Soul Calibur 6, we're going to talk about the reversal edge technique. So this technique honestly is a little bit divisive, and a lot of that divisiveness comes from the fact a lot of people just don't really know how it works. So that's the purpose of this video here, we're just going to break it down entirely. So long story short first before we get anything else. So Reversal Edge is effectively a rock, paper, scissors guessing game, except there's kind of more than 3 choices, and every character's rock, paper, and scissors is a bit different, and you have to assign different weights to them because not everyone's version of each button is actually the same. So that said, first before we get into the meat of it, we're just going to quickly explain, yes, the Reversal Edge is an armor technique that if it connects, will put you into this guessing game. So first, before anything else, the Reversal Edge technique is easily beaten by any break attack, and you see this nice little kind of purple glass shatter effect when you get it, just to know that you got it correctly. Also, it is eminently easy to sidestep. Like, it is not a big deal to sidestep it in any way, shape, or form. This move has absolutely negative tracking, so you don't really have to worry about it in that regard. So that's just kind of 2 easy ways to get around it, and if you get hit, then hey, it's time to guess, right? So now let's talk about the guessing, because that's the big thing. First, I'm going to briefly mention that the guessing does come in 2 parts. There is a round 1 and a round 2. So if we clash, then we'll go into round 2, and round 2, there must be a winner. There cannot go to a round 3. But first, let's just talk about round 1 and how everything works in round 1. So let's talk about the building blocks here of the Reversal Edge technique, and that's A, B, K, your rock, paper, scissors. And once again, depending on the character, certain buttons are stronger than other buttons. But, so we have the enemy here set to A. So what happens when we both hit A at the same time? If we both hit A at the same time, we clash off, and we both hit A again, then I win. So how this works is if you hit the same button, you will immediately go to round 2. And we'll talk more in depth about round 2 in a moment. And if you hit the same button in round 2, whoever started the Reversal Edge, so the aggressor of the Reversal Edge, will always win no matter what. So ties always favor the aggressor in round 2, and that's a very, very big deal. So now that we just mentioned that, so if we hit the same button, that's just all well and good, right? So once again here, the enemy is set to the A version on Reversal Edge, and what beats A? Well, B beats A. I hit B, I get a clean hit, and that's all there is. And much the same here, if I hit K, K loses to A. So I just got beat. And so now, along that thought process, along those lines, if we have it set to B, so A loses to B, and K beats B. And now, just to kind of complete the trinity here, if we have the enemy set to K. So if I had the enemy set to K and I hit A, I will win. And if I have it during the Reversal Edge and I do B here, I will lose and the K will beat me. And see, there's a little bit of uniqueness. So Nightmare gains his terror charge because he won with K. And that's just a little bit of the character uniqueness of what we're talking about. So not every single thing is weighted evenly. Now, with that said, so basically A beats K, B beats A, K beats B. We're done. Simple, right? Well, that's not all there is to it. So on top of the ABK situation, we also have the hard reads. So ABK, we can also choose a direction. So for this here, we're going to do this, and the enemy's going to do A. And what's this? I just gracefully went under his attack. So for this, I've chosen to hit forward. So forward will go underneath an A attack. And we'll explain why this is important in a moment here, but just to finish off the trinity here. So if the enemy is doing a B, an up or down input will sidestep the B attack. So it doesn't really matter up or down. Either way, you'll sidestep the B attack. And if we have the enemy set to K, the kick button, and if we hit back, you will backstep the kick. Now, why are these important? Well, first off, it's basically because you don't have the can input anymore. So, say we go back to the basic trinity. We'll set our foe to B here. So, we're going to win with K, and let's look at how much damage we get. So we won. We got 33 damage according to the damage tally over here. So now instead of that, how about we sidestep and let's see how much damage we can get then. So once again, same idea. Now we're going to sidestep. And we get to do our own little combo here. And we got 47. So that's a lot more damage than the canned option we had of kick. And, you know, that's not even necessarily an optimal combo by any stretch. That's just, you know, off the top of my head. Certain characters can potentially get really big damage off correctly guessing. Now, here's the weakness. So, just as we showed here, you know, graceful as a panther, we can just kind of dodge it, right? But the problem is, unlike the weaknesses of ABK, once again, you know, A beats K, B beats A, K beats B, and they all tie with each other. Now, in the hard read section here, the dodging, there is no tie. So you will beat one of the options, but you will lose to the other two. So while I can sidestep it, I cannot go underneath it, the B attack that is, and I am not able to backstep it. So while the reward is much higher than choosing A, B, or K, the risks are much higher too. So there is no tie, there is no chance to go to round 2. It beats one option, moving either forward, backwards, or one of the side steps, but it loses to the other two options. So you might know what they're going for, and if so, awesome. You'll get a lot of extra damage, you know, from like whatever custom combo you can figure out. But this is definitely the higher on the risk-reward pantheon. With ABK, you can either win, lose, or tie, so you get another chance. This way is much more, you know, gambling with your health. You know, if you guess wrong, you're going to get hit, and if you guess right, hey, awesome, you look like a genius. So now we can also play the odds in another way. And that is simply either to hit guard or to do nothing. So we'll have the enemy set here to A once again. And I'm not going to touch nothing. I'm not touching any button. What happens here? Oh, I just guard. So you can also hit guard manually to choose it if you so wish. It doesn't really matter. Now we'll set it to K. So once again here, I'm not touching anything. We're just going to guard it. And we're good to go. That's it. Reversal edge is over. Although, if you have a look here at the guard gauge here, and you do take a fair bit of guard damage, so, you know, keep that in mind. But still, so guarding, or, you know, doing nothing, you can choose to hit the guard button or not, will beat 2 of the 3 options. However, if you choose to guard against a B attack, you will always now go to round 2. So, we have now guarded, and we lost, and now we're going to go to round 2. And that didn't work out so good for us. So that's all the basics on round 1, and I hope you're still following with me here, because, you know, it's a bit to take in. This is, it's a little more complex than just rock, paper, scissors, especially because once we'll talk about later on the character-specific stuff, because everyone's rock, paper, and scissors is different. Some people's rocks hit harder than others. Fun little spoiler, Astaroth can straight up instant kill you on round 2 if you guess wrong, right? So yeah, now let's just talk about round 2 in general. The stakes get a lot higher in round 2, because now there's no more ties. So, we did here, once again, the enemies hit B. We're going to hit B. We'll tie, we'll go to round 2, and we're just going to keep jamming on that B button. And, you know, hey, we win because we are the initiator. The initiator of that reversal edge will always win. So the ball is in his court, and not only that, a lot of moves actually get a lot more deadly in round 2. So now that we've kind of went over some of the basics here, ABK, the triangle still works fine in round 2. However, you know, with the tie not working so much anymore. Hard read, still the same as the word, just the risks are kind of amplified. And as for playing the odds here for in round 2, well, this is kind of the safe bet. You still block A and K just fine. So now in round 2, however, so once again, if you block a B anyways, you're going to go to round 2. But in round 2, if you block that B, you're going to get guard crushed 100% of the time into a guaranteed combo no matter what. While it's still the best defensive option by quite a bit, once again, you know, you're just carrying a lot of risk because you get a full combo instead of, you know, just kind of a hit. So if you do get smacked, it's potentially quite a bit more damaging than it would be otherwise just taking, you know, a hit. Of course, and if you're near, say, the edge of the ring, near a wall, it could be very devastating indeed. Now, just to show you an example of character diversity. So once again here, we mentioned how it's rock, paper, scissors, but not everyone's rock, paper, scissors are kind of weighted equally here. So Astaroth is going to be your example, because I find he's a guy of extremes when it comes to reversal edge. So here's Astaroth's basic A attack. It's not much. He just kind of gives you the old smack, right? And even if we go to round 2, He gives you the basic smack. It's not much. Like, yeah, we get a little cinematic, and he smacks you extra hard, but it's kind of whatever, right? But then we have some other stuff. Like, so say we do reversal edge here, and we're going to pick the K option. So they block. Cool, whatever. But did you notice that little blue tinge there? So if you block Astaroth's K, and normally, you know, you want to block, it's a very safe option. That little blue tinge means he's plus. He has guard broken you. That means it's his turn. He will have the advantage over you. And not only that, a fun little Astaroth fact here. The kick here that's blocked actually forces you to crouch, meaning he gets a guaranteed attempt to low throw you. Now, the throw itself is not guaranteed. You are allowed to detect the throw, but just to show you. So not only is it his turn, he gets to attempt to throw you if you block it. And of course, if he hits you, well then, hey, you know, you get hit. And he also still gets that attempt of the low throw. So now let's just kind of end the show with the showstopper here. So we talked about this whole rock, paper, scissors, and how it's not all weighted equally. Like, here's Astaroth's biggest rock he has in his arsenal. And what happens when he uses his biggest rock in his arsenal? Oh, well, you just died. Basically, if you were anywhere close to the ring out, and I mean anywhere, I was half of the stage away, you know, he can ring you out. So in that situation, you know, you got to keep in mind, yeah, it's rock, paper, scissors, but that rock, the B in this case, is B button, is so overwhelmingly strong on round 2 that you got to think, well, if I have the chance to instantly die and lose the round, well, then that's probably what he's thinking of going to use. So I have a lot of ways around it, and I'm going to pick an option that, you know, defends against it, right? So you got to keep in mind what the enemy is capable of, because every single character, I can't go through this in this video, every single character's options are so wildly varied. Everyone has moves they are going to be fishing for. You know, some people, the A button might be what they want. Some people, you know, the K or the B or whatever. You know, some people are just going to be passive. They don't want to engage in the guessing game, so they'll just kind of block everything. And then if they do block everything, keep in mind, universally B always will beat the block version of the reversal edge. And of course, just because you initiated the combo doesn't mean you can't do a special movement, right? So, as we were already showing here, someone who initiates can dodge under stuff here, like Astaroth's nimble combat roll there. Everyone has all the options on the table. So, I know this video must have been a little long-winded. I'm very sorry for that, but there's quite a bit to talk about here. Honestly, to be brutally honest, I hated this mechanic at first when I first played the beta. And maybe I'm not the world's biggest fan of it, but now that I understand it quite a bit more, and I understand how everyone's rocks, papers, and scissors are different. It's not just a guessing game, it's a very educated guessing game. And the more you understand about both your options and the enemy's options, you can easily weigh towards them. And, you know, once you got the enemy read like a book, you can make a hard read of the directional dash and then get a nice little combo of your choosing. Anyways, that's it for this video, and thank you very much for sticking with me and watching all the way through here. So I hope this video helped you understand the mechanic better, because I know, once again, it's a very tricky mechanic, but once you understand it, hey, it makes a lot more sense. You know, as anything would, I suppose. Anyways, that's it for this video, so thank you very much for watching. If this video has found you well, go out and play some Soul Calibur.